Good morning, children. Now we will read the next story of the chapter 3. The two stories of the flying. In the second part, the black aeroplane. It is written by Frederick McGrath Frosty, CBE, in an English novelist, journalist, former spy, and occasionally political commander. He was born on 25 August 1938, and he gives his services to the poetry as a writer, as an author, as a journalist from 1956 to 1958. He had written The Day of the Jackal, The Fourth Protocol, The Odysseus File, Icon, The Dog of War, likewise that. He was awarded with the Edgar Award of the Best Novel, Carter Diamond Dagger also. He was a good novelist also. And in this story, he was describing about the experience of one of the person who was just going for the flight and with his aeroplane, and he was just faced the storm. At that time there is a experience, he was experienced something in the cloud, and he thought about it how it is possible, because he was just not thinking about that it is really it happens with him, or this is the something illusion with him. What happened, he was not confirm that thing. So let read the story and thought about that what is he was experienced. First of all, I will start reading, and then I will explain it according to the paragraph wise. So the moon was coming up in the east behind me. The star was shining in the clear sky above me. There wasn't a cloud in the sky. I was happy to be alone, high up above the sleeping countryside. I was flying my old Dakota aeroplane over Frank back to the England. I was dreaming of my holiday and looking forward of being with my family. I looked at my watch, 1:30 in the morning, and here he was wants to say. So the author says that he was flying. He was describing about the person that he was flying in an aeroplane at 1 o'clock at night. The moon was coming up in the east behind him. Stars were shining in the clear sky above him. He was flying his old Dakota aeroplane. Name of the aeroplane was Dakota, over France back to England. He was going back to England. He was dreaming of his holiday. He was looking forward of being with his family. That he was when he was going back, he will just take a good breakfast with them. He was enjoying his weekend. He was just thinking, and he was flying his aeroplane. I should call Paris soon. Control soon means control to the control room. He was just trying to contact with his aeroplane to the Paris control room because he was flying over the France. I thought as I looked down past the nose of the aeroplane, I saw the light of a big city in front of me. I switched on the radio and said, Paris control, Dakota DS-088 here. Can you hear me? I am on my way to England. Over. The voice from the radio answers me immediately. DS-088, I can hear you. You ought to turn 12° west now. DS-088, over. So what happened when we are giving the message to the some control room? They are replying in the airplane, and first of all you have to give the introduction of your plane, of your position, what you want, that you have to be just indicate them. And from the control room they will just see the compass, whatever the systems are there, they will tell you the way to how much you have to be moved, from which side you have to be moved, all that thing. And after completing the thing, after complete your message, you will have to say over. If they control, they complete their talk, they will also write, give at the end they will give the word over, because this means from our side also message complete. So here, both conversation between both of them, that the pilot asked them about the way to England. He said that I am way to England, and they also just told them that you have to turn 12-degree west, and that is the way for to England. I checked the map and the compass, switched over to my second and last fuel tank, and turned the Dakota 12-degree west towards England. I will be the time of for breakfast, I thought. A good big English breakfast. Everything was going well. It was an easy flight. When he was just flying and he know the way from that he was right, and he was just turned his plane to the 12 degree, and he turned his plane, he really turned direction. Everything was going well. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me, because he was just over from there. Then he saw the storm clouds, and they looked like a black mountain in front of him. He knew he could not fly up over them. Before that, he was just thinking that when I went to home, I will just take to the I am taking the breakfast, good breakfast there. But when the mountain come in front of us, he was just thinking about it, not over to go from there. So that is the thing. Paris was about 150 kilometers behind me. When I saw the cloud, Storm's cloud, they were huge. They looked like a black mountain standing in front of me across the sky. I knew I could not fly up and over them, and I did not have enough fuel to fly around them to the north or south. So he was just to think about it, how can come out from this situation. I ought to go back to Paris, I thought. Again, then I thought that I have to go back to the Paris, and I will take time, or I will take the fuel also. But I wanted to get home. But the thing is that I want to go home as soon as possible. I want that breakfast. I will take the risk, I thought, and flew that old Dakota straight into the storm. So what he had done, he was just thinking about to go back, but he thought about his family time, that he have to be spent with his time with his family. So he was just go through that storm. Inside the cloud, everything was suddenly black. It was impossible to see anything outside the aeroplane. The old aeroplane jumped and twisted in the air. I looked at the compass. I couldn't believe what happened. He was just experienced that when he entered in the storm, the clouds of the storm, then he experienced that it was my plane was moving. I am just he tried to open his compass, but it is not possible for him to be come out from that situation. So that is a risk that he has taken in his life. And when he entered in the storm, on that black clouds, he was not able to see anything else. So he don't think about how to come out from this. He thought that he was lost in the storm. My eyes, the compass was turning.